Hello everyone, welcome back to this channel. In today's video, I am going to explain using PnP PowerShell how we can migrate the files from local system to the SharePoint Document Library without changing the file created date and modified date. Recently, we have done the same migration for one of our clients. So they were also storing all the files in the local system. Now they are trying to move all these files to the SharePoint Document Library. So there they wanted to keep their files created date and modified date exactly without changing. So why they have told in the SharePoint document library, whenever we are adding a new file or uploading the file, by defaultly the created date and modified date will take the today's date. So whenever they uploaded that date only it will take, but the client requested to update those with the original file created date and modified date which is present in the local system. So in this video, we will see how to achieve this kind of requirement. Now let's get into the video. To show you an example, in this SharePoint document library old project files, I have migrated all the files present in my local system. So you can see the modified date and created date is showing as a June 16, 2025. Now we are in 2026. This migration I have done before making this video. So in this video, I will create a new document library and I will show you how we can migrate and how it is really taking this created and modified date. We will see now. So for this, let me create one document library files. For sample purpose only, I am giving. So we will move the local system files into this document library. Now let me open the local system. These are the sample files only. If we see here, the date modified is the 11th month, 17th date and with this time, and also some are in December files are there and November files are there. If we go to this one, you can see March, February and January and 2024 files also there. So we will try to migrate these files into that SharePoint document library. Now here is the PnP PowerShell script that I have used for migrating the files from. Before discussing, the site URL is same only, the first one. So in the same site, I have created this document library. So let me copy this document library name, and here in the library name I'm going to provide that one, and then local folder. So where our old files are present in the local system, that folder path we have to give here. So let me go back here, copy path, that entire folder we are going to move into this document library. So this is the file location. So now you understand, right? The site URL is containing the SharePoint site URL where our document library is present, and the library name is containing our document library name, and local folder path where our local files are present, that location we need to give. And then using the connect-pnp online command, I am connecting to the SharePoint site URL by providing that variable or to this URL parameter, and using the client ID. This is the ID that I have created in the Microsoft Entra ID. So whenever you want to connect with the SharePoint, you also need to create one Entra ID with the proper permissions. So as of now, I am moving the files, right? For this also we need edit permission, all these things. So since I am doing many creating all these kind of things using the PnP PowerShell, I have the permission of full control. If you don't know about how to register an ID and how to grant permission, in the description box below, I will provide the link. You can go through that. We have written a blog post on that, so you can easily create one application and get ID, and you can see how you can grant permissions also. And then I have provided the interactive. So for this one, we have to provide interactive only when we are using with the client ID. So what this interactive will do, when I'm clicking the run button, so it will take our credentials, login credentials at the time of running. Previously, without using client ID, that time we can provide our credential here only. So from the variables only we are connecting. Now it was updated. So we need to use this client ID. Without this one, we cannot interact with the SharePoint without PnP PowerShell. Okay. So after connecting the PowerShell, what I have done, we will discuss one by one. So after connecting to the SharePoint site, then you can see I have provided the comment like get local files. So here in this section, what we are doing, we are retrieving the files present in the local system. So how we can retrieve is using this command, we can easily retrieve the local files. So for the path, I am providing the local folder path. So into that, it will go to that local folder path and retrieve all the files and store in the local files. Now, whether the files it retrieved or not, to check that one, I am using one if condition. If not of local files or local files dot count is equal to 0, which means no files are present in this local files. So in that time we are showing one message like no files present in the local folder path existing, like that. Using the red color it will show. If it is files are present, then this message will come. So in this message what we are showing, found that local folders, how many files are there, that count it will show, local files for uploading, like that one message will come in a green color. Now after retrieving all the local files, we need to check whether any files present in the document library. Why? Because if any of the file already present, then why we need to update the existing one? Instead we will skip that one and we will upload the files which are not present in the in the document library. So to do that one only, here first I am retrieving all the files present in the document library. To do that one, we are using get-pnp list item command. For this, we are providing the library name that we have stored at the starting to this list parameter, and then the page size is the 2000, so that we'll check for the 2000 pages if files are present. As of now, in our document library, no files are present, so these things won't make it. If it is present, then it will retrieve that file leaf reference, because we need to compare with the local files, right? Whether these two are same or not. If not, then we are going to upload. And here you can see I created one array like library lookup. Now what we are doing, the library items, we are using this for each loop. We are iterating over each item present in the library items. So this library items is containing the all the files and folder, all the files present in the document library. Now it is iterating over each file and retrieving the file leaf reference and storing into this library lookup array. And then upload and update created dates I have provided. So what I'm doing, I have created one variable upload count. So we need to track, right, how many files are uploaded. So for that reason, I created one variable, and to that variable, I have assigned one value as a 0. Then this is the local file which is storing all the files present in the local system, right? Now using the for each, we are iterating over each files present in this library, sorry, in this array. Now this is the local file. Consider it as an item. It will take each item from this array. Now here what we are doing, we also created one array, right, library lookup, which is containing all the files present in the SharePoint document library. Now from that we are taking the local file name and comparing with this one local file. Let's understand this one. Library lookup, from that contain the keys of local file name. So from this local files, whatever the file is, all the files it will iterate, and one time one file name it will take and compare it with the library lookup. So this way, if any files already exist, then it will show a message like skipping already exist that file name. Whatever the file is same in the both library and local system, then we are skipping that one. If not, then we are continue. So if that file is not there, then the control will come here, and here we are storing the created and modified date of that local file. So here that local file is containing the information about that file, right? So from that, create time, last write time. So this last write time is for getting the modified date, and create time is getting the creation time is for getting the created file, date of that file. After retrieving this one, we are showing one message like uploading the local file name, and this is the created date and this is the modified date. And then using the add hyphen pnp file command, we are adding the file. So how we are uploading the file is, for the path we have given the local file dot full name. So using this only we are storing, and for the folder we are giving the folder name that we have stored in the very beginning. and if any errors will come, it will stop there only, it won't upload. So after uploading this one, what will happen? By defaultly in the SharePoint document library overview, I will just upload one file into this one. Let me upload from here only instead of dragging. I will upload this girl file. So when we are uploading, you can see the modified date is a 5 seconds ago only. Let me also show you the created date. So a few seconds only. So whenever we are adding, by defaultly this modified date and created date automatically will come. So these are system fields. We cannot even edit this one. So if you can see, this cell is read only. Same, this cell also read only. We cannot edit this one. But using PowerShell we can do. So here why we are retrieving the uploaded item again, because so here that code retrieving the file upload. So whenever we are adding the file, by defaultly it will add the a few seconds ago, like current time only it will add. Now after retrieving that one, we are already stored the created and modified data of that particular file, right? So now we are using the set-pnp list item command. We are updating the created date and modified data for that particular file. So to retrieve the file from the recently added uploaded file from the library, we are using get PnP list item. For this list parameter, we are providing the library name, and for the fields, file leave reference. Why? Because based on the name only we are retrieving. Using the where object, we are filtering whether this file leaf reference is equal to the local file name that we have added recently. If it is there, it will retrieve and store in this upload item. Then if the upload item is there, then using the set-pnp list item command, we are updating the created and modified data. So for the list parameter, we have provided our library name. For the identity purpose, that uploaded item dot id we are taking, and then in the values parameter, whatever the fields we are going to update, those fields we need to mention over here. So for the created date, this is the created variable we have stored right before, and same the modified. So all these two things, for this created and modified fields we are assigning. So after doing update the type, update the overwrite version. So these two are the mandatory things, just provide, otherwise we will get some errors. And in case if we face any errors, it will stop this one. So after updating the metadata, we will see a message like uploaded and metadata also updated successfully. And once it was done, upload count is there, right? So at the starting we have make it as a 0. So once one file is uploaded, then we are using the increment. So what this increment will do, it will add one more value to this one. Now it will become 1, simply to track the how many files are there. For that purpose only we are using. In case if we didn't found the uploaded item, then this message will show unable to find the uploaded file in the document library. Now in the try block only we are uploading the file and updating the metadata, right? In case if we are not able to upload and updating the metadata, then the control will come into this catch block, and here we are showing one message like failed to process, and this is the message, that error it will show over here. And once the uploaded count is equal to 0, then it will show no new files were uploaded, else uploaded and updated all the metadata. I hope you understand this code. Let me run this one now. As I said, when I click on the run button, you can see one pop-up came. Here we need to log in. I choose my account. Now it will run. So you can see founded 237 local files for uploading, and it is uploading add new item to the SharePoint list, and that created and modified date you can see. This is the message which it is uploading to the document library, and then this is the second file, then this is the third file. So like this it will upload. Let's wait for some time. 233 files are there, so it will take little bit of time. Meanwhile, we can also check the SharePoint document library. You can see the modified date is December 23, 2025, and the created date. All these things are there. So you can see, right, the files are getting added. Add user, it is showing a few seconds ago, then it will update that one. Let me refresh it one more time. Now you can see January 20, February, the modified date for this one. So still the code is running. So that's it. This way we can easily migrate the files from local system to document library along with the created and modified dates. Thank you for watching this video and don't forget to subscribe our channel.